Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be installing the M99 Pro by Supernova lamp on a haibike trekking 3.0 2019 model. Since today I'll be installing this Supernova M99 series light on a haibike with a Bosch motor, I got the adapter for the handlebar mount for the light. It's made of carbon fiber and it's supposed to dissipate heat real good also. Okay guys, so inside of our nice Supernova tin here, it came with the cable, it came with a nice switch to turn it on and off with, the actual lamp, and the instructions. And then again, this is the M99 Pro by Supernova. Low beam 1100 lumen, high beam 1600 lumen. Well, that's everything in the box. Let's get started on the installation. Okay, the first step, guys, we're going to be removing these 4 screws here. This is on the bottom of the Enthusiast display by Bosch. Alright guys, just a little note. I was reading here on the instruction cards that this adapter can be used with the Bosch mount. Okay, in this picture you can see on the left side is what we removed, and on the right is what we'll be replacing it with the new mount. We'll be using the same screws. A little side by side of the old light and the new light. What a difference. Okay, next step, per the instructions here, we're going to be installing this assembly piece here to these front 2 pieces. It says it improves clamping force by 30% and protects from corrosion and eliminates creaking noises. And since this is all carbon pieces, we're going to be using them. And this is what it should look like with your paste. This mount was attached with 2 of the T25s. This is the T25s here on both sides. And just tighten it, hand tight now, because we're going to mount it to the bike and adjust it from there. Okay, well, we got the old light off and the new light mounted. As you can see, the old wires are still here, and underneath it all looks custom, all tightened down to 1 Newton meter or finger tight. Oh, that's where we are now. Now it's time to start the wiring process. Okay guys, I was trying to decide where to actually put the headlight switch at on my handlebars, and since I'm right-handed, I've decided to move my my bell here over to the left side and have my actual light switch over here on the right due to the exiting of the wire. I figured it'd be better to plan this out now than wait until I had everything wired up and decide I need to run it the other way. So now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove the old bell here and replace with a switch. Okay guys, like I said, I installed the light switch over here on my right side. Oh, it's not focusing. Come on, focus. On the right side, and then I moved my bell over to the left so I can still hit my all controls, and I got my bell. It seemed to work better for me. That's how I set it up. Alright, and let's continue on with the wiring. Well, first thing I did is I took this split loom back off to about here so I could take out the old wiring for the OEM light. And then I put inside the split loom and attached it to the light there with the red tab you can see. Ran through the split loom, and I have it down here just hanging loose. And now, since I'm actually going to get into physical wiring, I'm going to remove the battery. I'm going to remove the lid or cover from the side of the motor there. On this model, I don't believe I'm going to have to actually remove the crank or pedal, but sometimes you do, but let's see. And then I'm going to fish the new wiring down to the side of the motor where it plugs in. Alright, I'll be back once we get there. Guys, on this motor, on the Bosch Performance Line 6 that I have, it requires a 3mm hex and a 2.5mm hex. The 2.5mm hex is this little one that's over the pedals. here that comes out, and then with the 3mm, it's just this screw here and this screw here, and then the cover will come off. Let me remove this cover off here. This first plug here, let me zoom in a little bit if you can see. This plug here, it's 2 wires, just red and black. It plugs into this first plug. I don't know, it's kind of dark in there, but that's where it is. It goes right here next to that. You unplug that, and then when you unplug that, you can pull it, and you can see that the wire, the factory wire, is actually coming out of there. So I know I got the right one. And to make it easier on myself, I'm going to just try to use some tape new to the old, so I can pull it through, and we'll pick up from there. Removing this plug makes installation of the wires so much easier. Okay guys, for easier understanding, I actually removed my battery port there and charging port, just so you could see that's where the cable comes from. Here, let me zoom out. That this is the cable, and on this cable you have a red, yellow, a green, and a black. And hey, what do you know? On the end of the light cable you also have a red, yellow, green, and black. What you do is you use the 4 supplied wire taps, and you're going to tap them wires together. And keep in mind, I also I trimmed back this outer sheathing from the wires as said in the instructions, about 8 centimeters. And where you would find that plug, guys, is if you're looking, this plug actually plugs in the back here on the bottom side. And you don't have to remove it. I only removed it so it would be easier for me to explain, and also to tap the wires without having to be down here in this mess. And if you're wondering and you see what I have here may look different than yours, mine has the Speedbox 3.0 chip tuning that de-restricts my speed. Alright, well, I'll be back once I get these wires tapped and get it cleaned up. Okay guys, I pretty much got everything wired up now, just a little cleanup work and put the covers back on. But as you can see, the main battery plug is right here, and that's where everything's tapped into. The positive, the negative, and the CAN bus high and low. But everything's tapped in, and these are all done with some UB2 3M taps. Or connectors, and later on I'll probably come back and actually end up physically soldering them, but for right now I think that's going to be good, and I'll be back once I get everything cleaned up.